core of my research is a focus on the status of violence in the human condition. I try to ask questions such as, how do we define violence? How can we even talk about it? How can we better understand the role of violence in human affairs? And so that's kind of generated all kinds of different approaches to looking at violence. I look at violence in the Irish post-colonial context in terms of poetry and translation. I'm a war literature scholar, and then I'm also a poet, and in my poetry, I write from an eco-poetic perspective, and I look at the ways in which we as a species have meted out violence on the natural world. So I think it's incumbent upon not only military officers, I'm a retired officer, but also all members of our democracy to consider violence in all its myriad forms, epistemic violence, physical force violence, to talk about and think about linguistic and sexual violence, psychological violence, cultural violence. That's a wide array of areas to consider. But for the health of our democracy and for extending respect and dignity to individual human beings, I think we need to parse it along those broad parameters, and also to come up with a working definition of violence.